Good day to all the viewers. Our title is Phosphorus Cycle, the only non-gaseous sedimentary cycle, created by the Group 8 titled Earthbenders, Sedimentary and Phosphorus Cycle. For the flow of this topic, this is the 5 topic that we are gonna cover. Topic 1 is the sedimentary cycle, Topic 2, Phosphorus cycle, Topic 3, the epigenetics, Topic 4, invasive species, and lastly, Topic 5, anthropogenic effect. Now then, on to Topic 1, sedimentary cycle.
The sedimentary cycle receives natural input from glacial movement, air transport, and river discharge into the seas. Man is one of the main or primary agent for the input of many components, such as organic and some exotic compounds, and they revert to nature in others, such as heavy metals. Landscape modification, for instance, have increased by a factor of 2 or 3 the rate of natural erosion, which constitute the signal most important input to the cycle. Sedimentary cycle is defined as the weathering of existing rock. The weathering is caused by the erosion of minerals, their transit and disposition, and finally burial. An example of sedimentary cycle is the phosphorus cycle. It is a cycle which compromises the weathering of an existing rock, followed by the erosion of minerals, their transport and deposition, then burial.
Phosphorus cycle. The phosphorus cycle is a significant cycle that describes the transfer of phosphorus, which is necessary for the growth of plants, animals, between various elements of the environment. Life on Earth is made possible by exchanging inorganic and organic phosphorus between rocks, soil, water, and living things. The process by which phosphorus is cycled through the hydrosphere, geosphere, and biosphere is known as the phosphorus cycle. The cycle's primary steps are as follows. Weathering of rocks. Weathering and erosion cause phosphorus to be released from rocks. Number 2. Plant uptake. Phosphorus is absorbed by plants from the soil and used for growth and reproduction. Number 3. Animal consumption. Phosphorus is ingested by animals who then pass it up the food chain by eating plants or other animals that have already absorbed it. Number 4. Decomposition. When plants and animals pass away, microbes break down their corpse and release phosphorus into the soil. Number 5. Leaching and runoff. Phosphorus can also be carried into rivers, lakes, and seas by leaching or runoff. Algae in aquatic habitats take up phosphorus, which is then transferred up the aquatic animal food chain to fish and other fish-like creatures. Number 6. Sedimentation. The phosphorus in aquatic settling eventually settles to the bottom and is buried, which restarts the cycle. Human activities like mining, sewage disposal, and agricultural practices can impact the phosphorus cycle. In conclusion, the phosphorus cycle is an essential component of global environment since it is crucial to the movement of energy as well as the health of ecosystems. All species require phosphorus. Thus, if the normal phosphorus cycle is disrupted, this can have significant ecological repercussions, including changes in biodiversity and health of food webs. The global preservation and maintenance of healthy ecosystems depend on the phosphorus cycle.
What is epigenetics? Epigenetics is also known as study of switching or slicing genes. Epigenetics is a discipline that bridges environmental exposure and lifelong genome regulation. Epigenetics is rapidly changing our body perception of how diseases and phenotypes emerge and prosper in populations. The epigenetic mechanism plays an important role in the normal development of cells and maintaining the body's equilibrium or homeostasis. Any disturbance of epigenetic process can have a major adverse health and behavioral consequences. This can be affected by internal imbalances within the body itself and wider environmental and lifestyle factor. Fun fact, the epigenetics was first discovered in 1942 by Conrad H. Waddington, a British developmental biologist, embryologist, and geneticist at Cambridge University.
Native species are any living organism not indigenous or native to a particular area that can cause significant economic and environmental harm. On land, they are called terrestrial invasives. Terrestrial habitats primarily focus on land like forests, savannas, and etc. Terrestrial invasive plants. It includes plants that grow in non aquatic habitats, including agricultural fields, forests, urban landscapes. An example of an invasive plant is the cogran grass. We can also see it in parts of the Philippines. It forms dense stands that crowd out native species. It is also a fire hazard on public conservation, lands, and agricultural forests. In the picture, the cogran grass joins the crowd of rice plants. Another terrestrial invasive animal is African snail. The giant African snail is agricultural and garden pest. It attacks and feeds on hundreds of different plant species. It also poses a serious health risk to humans by carrying the parasite rat langworm that is known to cause meningitis. Also, insects are the most common invasive and terrestrial invertebrate, but it also includes other arthropods, mollusks, and worms. Terrestrial invasive also occurs on other organisms that includes pathogens such as molds, fungi, and bacteria. An example is the citrus canker. It is a bacterial disease that infects citrus trees, where it destroys fruit and causes decreased production. It causes blemishes and premature fruit drop. It poses a significant risk to commercial production because it can spread quickly through wind, rain, and infected soil.
Anthropogenic stress occurs naturally on Earth to preserve the balance of dynamic ecosystem. But when human activity increases, the equilibrium becomes absent. The Leciatlia principle can be used to show when the position of equilibrium is distributed as a result to changing environment factors brought on by humans' activities. In order to offset the change and restore balance, the position of equilibrium